Hey, welcome to Joey's Hi-Fi. Today we're going to be talking about records, and I love records. This is why I got into hi-fi. I got my first turntable, a hand-me-down from my parents' system, and my brother helped me buy an amplifier, and I used some old speakers from my grandparents. And that was like the first hi-fi I had, and on that hi-fi I got this very first record, Nirvana MTV Unplugged. So that for those that are older than me, they're like, wow, that was like way way after I got into records. And for those that are younger than me are like, wow, he got that album, that's so cool. But this is my original Nirvana Unplugged album that I got. And after that I was just hooked. And I got the hi-fi bug, and now I own a hi-fi store, and my wife puts up with it, and actually she loves music too, and she had, when we dated, she got a hi-fi, so I knew I was in good company. And so ever since then, our house has had hi-fi and lots of music in it. Now you'll see I have some records behind me. I also have a whole nother set of records, and I have an eclectic collection. I grabbed just a couple to show you all. The selection I made is not representative of everything I have. It's just I randomly grabbed it right before this, and every record here I'm excited about, and I could go on and on about, but I'm just gonna kind of give you all an idea of like what I love about some of these albums and what I love about albums in general. Like, I love music, and I feel like with if I'm gonna own a hi-fi store, if I'm gonna run Joey's hi-fi shop, this also needs to be about music. This needs to be talking about some of the albums I really enjoy, and having you all comment about albums I should be checking out and buying. I have a channel called Joey's Helping Others, and on YouTube. And before I started this shop, I would literally just have people leave comments and tell me albums to buy, and I'd get them and then I'd open them. And so we're gonna move that on over here. So if you do have a record I should buy or check out, let me know. And at some point, in the next year or two, I'll probably sell some records. I'll probably sell some vinyl. One of the things I love about record stores, I love going to record stores. I've researched them. I'll put a link into some research I've done on record stores in Central Texas. One of the things I love about them is that each one's unique and different. Like, you can come buy some vinyl from me, but you can also still go to another vinyl store here in Bryan, Texas, or in Austin, or in San Antonio, or Houston, or wherever you live, and you're gonna see that each owner has their tastes, their things that they like to carry, and that is what makes collecting vinyl and music so awesome. That's what's really cool to me. There's a great record store here called Curious Collections, owned by Mary House in Bryan, Texas. I recommend them. You can buy from them online as well. So if you're not in Bryan, go show them some support by buying online from them. They're a brick and mortar, and Mary's an amazing story of how she started her record store. And I've walked in there and I've bought records. I'll show you all one that I bought from them, and I've bought many, but I love going into record stores and just saying, what are 3 to 5 records that are in this shop that are unique that I should get? And it's always led me into interesting places I would have never gone, not just physically but musically. So let's go through some of these real quick. I'm a huge fan of soundtracks, and this is one of my favorite soundtracks. When this got released, I assume that there's an original release, but this got re-released or released back in I think around 2015, 2016. And this originally came out in '96. It's produced by Trent Reznor. Trent Reznor's one of my favorite musicians in terms of his music. I really like his music. And this album has David Bowie, Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails. It has the Smashing Pumpkins. It has Lou Reed, Marilyn Manson, Rammstein. I mean, just some really, really good tunes. And there's a couple of different pressings of this. But all in all, like, just a solid soundtrack. I can't recommend this one enough. This one, The Crow, is another really great album. I'm going to do a whole podcast about that that I'll post up about here with a colleague of mine. And for those that don't know, I have a PhD in media studies. So I work with colleagues and put media studies style podcasts together as well. And so I'm going to be doing one just on the movie The Crow, the soundtrack. I've got all these books. I've got all this, like, just all kinds of crazy stuff. I got the laser disc back there if you can't see it. Putting this whole thing together. So that's a whole nother thing. Soundtracks to me are just so much great music, so many different kinds of sounds and songs to take in at once. The next album I have here is a box set. This is Smashing Pumpkins' Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. It's a really unique box set. It has, all of their songs. This was a double disc set. It has an insert. It's amazing. Great box set. I sold my box set. I got another one. The original pressing of this was a limited edition. They only made so many. I had one friend with a copy of it, but for the most part, you couldn't get this when it came out. The original LP when the album was released back in the 90s. If you've never listened to the Smashing Pumpkins, this is an amazing album. You can listen to it all the way through. If you need to go stream it before you buy it, go stream it before you buy it, because this is a little more expensive than a regular album. I think it was around $100, but it's great. It's amazing. Next album is this is Mech Step by Marco Cervantes. Marco Cervantes is Mech Step, the hip hop artist, and this album is like Chicano hip hop, conscious hip hop. Huge fan of this album. This is a great album, and Marco's just Mech Step's just done some amazing work. He has a couple of albums. He's also part of Third Root. He's worked with Black Pumas. I've helped produce some albums he's worked on. He's just, I highly recommend checking him out. Again, all of this stuff is on streaming, but man, to get the records is just amazing. Because what the records make you do is sit down and just relax and listen to the music. I love that. For someone that has ADHD like me, I can just sit down and kind of just go like, look, just, chill. This is some Lana Del Rey. This is a great album. Like, for me, this is a great album if you're trying to hear what your hi-fi sounds like. If you're going and testing a hi-fi, this is great. But her music, I love her music. I think she has some great lyrics, and people agree, because when Tay-Tay or Taylor Swift came out with their new album, a lot of people compared her album to stuff that Lana Del Rey has put out, which I thought was a fair analysis. And this album in particular is just really fun. So if you haven't heard this one, check it out, NFR. Really good stuff. It's a double album, just really fun. This was recommended by some people in the comments. I checked it out. I really enjoyed it. I know it's a big pop mainstream album. I don't care. I'm not one to be showing you albums that are all indie and you've never heard of. I have some of those. Mech Step is definitely a good example of that. But I also just enjoy music produced in all kinds of ways and a lot of pop. I just got this album yesterday. I haven't even opened it up yet. Super excited to hear it. This is a reprint. This is System of a Down, and I think I can't remember. I think it's self-titled System of a Down. It came out in '98. Yeah, it's one of their first albums, and if not their first album or mainstream album. And I'm really excited to have it. I have all their other albums, and I really enjoy them. I've seen them live. They just have a great sound. They're kind of like, I was talking about conscious hip hop. They're kind of like conscious heavy metal. I really like their lyrics. I like their music videos. If you haven't checked out System of a Down and you like rock, check them out. Rick Rubin produced this album. Wow, that's cool. If you don't know who Rick Rubin is, he's a really big music producer that's produced all kinds of different people. Johnny Cash, Metallica. I say it like that because he produced Slayer's Rain and Blood, Jay-Z's Black Album. He worked with him on that. Just all kinds of different people. If you look him up, and he's just a really interesting person. He has a book out about being creative. Just awesome person. And then this band is just really interesting. You can watch all kinds of interviews. This album is a Doors album. For the older crowd, you may know this album, Weird Sciences, or Weird Scenes Inside the Gold Mine. And this album is just amazing. It's a German pressing, and it's best of, and it has some really good songs on it, and it sounds really good too. This is like our Texas kind of stuff. I got some Selena, Dreaming of You, Selena Quintanilla, not Selena Gomez. And this album is amazing. It's a great album. It's really fun. If you grew up in Texas, you know this album for multiple generations. And Selena is somebody that we hold dear. I really like her music and the music that they made. It kind of is just like a time capsule. And her performances are pretty good. There's some other performers that gets really dicey, but there are some performers that are really great that also perform some of these songs, like Linda Ronstadt is one of them that you should also check out. And if you don't know about her, read up about her before you start like judging me about this. And then Selena's this album though, just I grew up with. It's amazing. Highly recommend it. The last album is the album that I got from Curious Collections, Childler's, and they have a lot of like Texas Outlaw and Texas Country. That's been really fun, and just country music in general that I would not have normally been exposed to. I'm not a huge country music listener. I mean, I listen to some, but not all the time. And this is has been a really fun album. There's a bunch of albums. I could go on and on and on. But I just wanted to give you all a small taste of some of the music that I have in my collection. I have a lot more genre. I didn't show like much EDM or electronica, which I'm really into. That the first two bins there are all electronica and EDM. That's all 90s, and then hip hop, and then down here is like pop, and then this is like 60s, 70s soul, and then all those two are soundtracks. And then I have more over here, which is like heavy metal, rock, like the Beatles, and then I have a whole bin that's just all Texas music. So yeah, and I have classical and jazz. So yeah, so it's a big fun collection that is constantly being changed out. I really thinned the herd. I've probably had about 6,000 albums in my life, and am just always changing them out and getting new ones. Because I like to have what I'm going to listen to. I like to know what I have. I'm not just trying to keep a bunch of stuff. So anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this little video about my love for music, and kind of give y'all some extra understanding of this isn't just about selling gear. This is about having gear to listen to music and play music. Like, you should be playing music all the time and listening and having fun. So this should be fun for you. It shouldn't be some kind of, frustrating thing. I see that happen with audiophiles that listen to the equipment rather than playing the music. It's like, you should be able to put your record on or stream your music and just forget about the system and just be listening to your music. That's what I love so much about these systems. And I love that you can buy a 10-year-old, 20-year-old, 30-year-old one, and they're all going to do that. So thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope y'all have a great day.